Hello, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. Today I am bringing to you my July book haul. So this one is huge, but I did go to Yelk in July, so I feel like that is the main problem here. I say feel, I can see that that is the main problem here, but that also did not stop me buying books outside of Yelk, and it did not stop you lovely people sending me gifts. So let me just see how many I have here. I think I have 26 books here to add to my collection, which is fine. Okay, so we are going to start with a book that I bought myself while I was in America. It just seems to be a thing for me to always go into a thrift store and buy a romance that I know is going to be pure trash, but that I'm probably going to love. So this time I got A Pirate's Love by Joanna Lindsay. This one was showing at $1.29, but it was actually 50% off, and then I gave like an extra donation so that it was $1 because it felt too cheap. It's old, it's battered, the pages are yellow, but this is a smutty romance about a pirate. Like, that actually smells when I do that to the pages, but I'm just excited to give this a go. So this says, sailing westward towards the Caribbean sun, young Bettina Verlaine is obediently setting out to fulfill a promise made by her father, a prearranged marriage, but is a wedding destined not to be. Abducted by the bold and handsome pirate, the notorious Captain Tristan, the pale-haired beauty finds herself helpless in his arms, detesting her virile captor, for enslaving her. Yet held by the passionate spell he casts over her, she surrenders her innocence in the warm caress of the tropical winds, finding love's fulfillment in the magic of a pirate's powerful embrace. Like, this is gonna be pure rubbish, and I cannot wait to read it. Next up, I got myself 5 books from the works during the month, 3 of which came in a vlog. It was the first vlog where I was at home. Some of you may remember it because I don't remember making the order, or at least putting these things in the order. So we'll start with those ones first. The first one is The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. So this is the only Beth O'Leary book I haven't read yet, think, she says confidently. I love the flat share with my whole heart. The switch was pretty good, and I didn't want to get this in paperback because I wanted the hardback to match my other books, and then I realised that it really doesn't matter and life is too short, so I got this in the newly updated 3 for £6 deal. I actually have no idea what this is about. It says Addie and her sister are on an epic road trip to a friend's wedding in rural Scotland. I'm not going to read any more than that. I know it's about a road trip, obviously, and this little car is very cute, but apart from that, I know nothing, and if anything, I just want to read the flat share again. But I have this one now for if I want to read more of her work. Next up, we have The Jigsaw Man by Nadine Matheson, and I have heard great things about this since hauling it. This is about a serial killer being on the loose that a detective fears are the fault of, the victims of a serial killer called the Jigsaw Man, but the Jigsaw Man is currently in prison already, so the detective uses the man who's in prison to hopefully track down the new copycat killer. I think this sounds great. I don't know when I'll get to it, but it does sound like a good time, and it's giving me Silence of the Lambs vibes. Next up, a romance I had to get when I saw the title. It is The Visa by Lizzy O'Hagan. So this is about two individuals, Maya and Jack, who are not in love at all, but they get married because Jack is a New Zealander in need of a visa to stay in the country, and Maya doesn't believe in marriage. So then they're living in what is described as wedded sexless bliss until one day Jack starts to get serious with someone else, and you know, we can all see what's going to happen there, but I just really love this passport idea with the people getting busy on it. I think it's great, and it's a cute cover. So yeah, this was my one of my random splurges throughout the month. And then one thing I do when I go to college, I am fully aware of where the bookshops are. So this was actually in the morning of the day where I was waiting for Victoria. I decided to grab some books. The first one is Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Goffney. This was in the deal, but I actually didn't want any more in the deal. Like, what is wrong with me? And this is the author of Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl, which I got last month. So I decided I was going to grab this one if I saw it cheap, and £2.50 is definitely cheap. So I'm not going to go through everything on the back, otherwise we'll be here a long time for all these books. But because it's a hotkey book, it has the key themes on the bottom, and it says secrets, blackmail, courage and romance, and I just think this cover's really cool, very bright, makes me happy. I grabbed it. And then one series of books I had not been able to stop thinking about after going to the Jacqueline Wilson panel at Yelk is the Girls series, which I remember loving as a teenager, and I got rid of my books, but they've all been republished. So I got Girls Under Pressure for £2. This is book number 2, I believe, but during that talk, Jacqueline Wilson talked about how interesting it would be to visit the girls who are in these books. This book is about Ellie, who is struggling with her weight as like a 13-14-year-old, and I remember loving it as a child, so I want to get all of these matching editions and keep these books because I just feel like I really loved them as a kid. I don't know why I got rid of them, and she has now expressed a want to go back to see how they're doing as adults. So I'm gonna have to brush up on my facts in case she does that. So those are all the books I bought myself that weren't at Yelk. Now it's time to hit the Yelk books. One of which actually I bought on the Yelk weekend, but not specifically at the convention, and that is Guild by Raven Kennedy. This is an adult romance, so definitely wasn't bought at the young adult convention. But I went book shopping with the lovely Faith on the Friday evening, I think it was. And this is the King Midas smutty retelling. I think it's called the Plated Prisoner series. Apparently it's big on TikTok. It says the dark fantasy TikTok sensation, so we're ignoring that it says TikTok on the front of my book, but I have heard really, really good things about this series. I think I used to get it confused with Gilded by Marissa Meyer, which I also own, and that is a very, very different book. So I have been intrigued by this for some time, and yeah, some smutty needs are achieved here. There's also one that I bought while I was on my way home, but I'm counting it because it was fully inspired by Yelk, and that is Baby Love by Jacqueline Wilson. I wasn't sure whether to get this one. I know that Kayla from All About the Page has read it, and she liked the idea, but it said it was told quite juvenile. I don't know what the verb would be there. But yeah, it was told very, very young. But this is actually about a 14-year-old who gets pregnant in the 1960s, I want to say. Oh yeah, 1960. It says the book is set in 1960 and contains sensitive content that reflects the attitudes of the time. It includes scenes of a sexual nature that are not suitable for younger readers. So yeah, it's definitely about a 14-year-old that gets pregnant, but it is quite apparently a bit more hard-hitting than that, and reflects the time of 1960 and what it would have been like to be a pregnant teenager. And I wasn't that bothered by this book, but then heard Jacqueline talk about it and I had to grab it, so I own this one now. The next one I have is Home by Mark Balabon, which there was a stall just for this book at Yelk, and I had been avoiding it, but then the author was there and he was adorable, and we saw him have a cup of tea from a flask and it was very cute. And apparently that meant I had to have this book because I am a fickle human. But it has absolutely gorgeous illustrations. Like, literally, I'm trying to find my favourite one and it's not coming up when I want it. Normally I can find it straight away. Like, look how pretty these illustrations are. But this one is about 14-year-old Leah. Her universe revolves around stargazing, wilderness survival, and braiding her hair. Girls at school call her weird because she doesn't fit in with their social media stereotypes, but Leah just wants to find out who she is. Alone in the park one night, Leah has the strangest sensation of rising high and gliding among the stars. Her experience sparks a burning question that not even the wise Maya can answer. Desperate for clues, Leah challenges herself to go away to an international summer camp. She soon enters a whirlwind of change as she finds love for the first time, but she also clashes fiercely with climate change activist Kaylee. Leah must learn how to deal with conflict, find her voice, and stand up for what she believes in. But she still worries that she might never find the answer to her question, what is home? I really like that. I'm like, why have I got all weirdly choked up? It doesn't sound that moving, but it is just absolutely gorgeous, and I am now more excited to read this. The author said to Chloe, enjoy the adventure, and Mark, I fully intend to. Next up, I've already mentioned The Lovely Lady, but there is a book that I'm going to hopefully read with Kayla, and that is When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. So I wasn't too bothered by this, but then the woman at Hotkey Books is a Hotkey Books, she kind of sold it to me. So this is set in Wisconsin in 1955. In a world where girls and women are taught to be quiet, the dragons inside them are about to be set free, and nothing will ever be the same again. So without just reading the blurb, what we got from this story is that women, when they're angry, turn into dragons, and just no one talks about it. It's just like a accepted, slightly secretive thing, and I don't know, this was very intriguing. The cover is absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, I own this now. Next up, one I bought because the guys on the stall were just kind of adorable and I couldn't help myself, but they were just, you know, really trying to sell their books, and I bought one. I got We Played With Fire by Katherine Barter. So this is published by Anderson Press, and they were just very, very sweet, so I own this now. This is about Maggie, who's been accused of a terrible crime, but only her younger sister Kate believes her version of events. Now banished to a lonely, freezing house in upstate New York, Maggie and Kate are bored and restless. They begin to make mischief in the night to startle their parents, but the house seems to be waking up, and whatever haunts it has a message for the sisters. Maggie sees her chance to finally be believed, but not all ghosts want to play fair. I think it sounds like a spooky time, maybe an October one. And the next three I got from Harper 360 YA. They spoil me with ARCs, and they were spoiling people with the deals, so I had to get some books. I probably spent more than I did spend more than I wanted to, but I just saw one that I wanted, so I had to make the purchase worthwhile. So the first one I have here is Extasia by Claire Legrand. This one is still really confusing to me, and I'm still not sure what it is about. It says, my name is unimportant. All you must know is that today I become one of the 4 saints of Haven. The elders will mark me and place the red hood on my head. They will give me my true name, and with my sisters I will stand against the evil power that lies beneath the Black Mountain, an evil that has already killed 9 of our village's men. I will tell no one of the white-eyed beasts that follow me, or the faceless grey women tall as houses, or the girls I saw kissing in the elm grove. Today I become a saint of Haven. I will rid my family of my mother's shame at last and save my people from destruction. I am not afraid. I still don't get it. It looks cool. One I definitely wanted was Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesar. It says the kids are not all right, which I love. And to be honest, I'm not going to look more into it. What I know about this is that there is a clown in the cornfield. And I think that sounds creepy enough for me to be intrigued, like genuinely. Paul Tremblay, who is the author of The Cabin at the End of the World, says it starts as a fun and scary retro slasher, but then cleverly twists and bloodies its way into becoming a very now kind of beast. Rejoice, horror fans, new and old, and be terrified of Adam's everyday clowns. I'm scared already. And the final book I purchased at Yelk was XOXO by Axie O, which is actually signed by the author, which, you know, we love. We need to move on because we've been here far too long already, but this is a YA contemporary founded in like K-pop stuff. I don't know anything about K-pop, but it's absolutely adorable. Then, as if that wasn't enough, I won 3 ARCs. 2 of them were like on email mailing lists that I wish I would have never signed up to because now I am spammed relentlessly every day. And one of them was a little spinny wheel, and if it pointed to a symbol, you got a book. It was literally a 50-50 chance and I won it. And that one is Unraveller by Frances Hardin. I never know how you pronounce her name. This is just very, very pretty. It says, in a world where anyone can create a life-destroying curse, only one person has the power to unravel them. Kellen does not fully understand his talent, but helps those transformed maliciously, including Nettle. Recovered from entrapment in bird form, she is now his constant companion and closest ally. But Kellen has also been cursed, and unless he and Nettle can remove his curse, Kellen is in danger of unraveling everything and everyone around him. Genuinely no idea, but it's floppy. 50% of the people in the room got one, and it's pretty. Next up, we have a thriller, which is A Game of Life or Death by Triona Campbell. I'm gonna just move on from it. We have Players. Welcome to Zootek's newest game, Shackle. Now let's see how long you can live. This is from Scholastic. Somebody told me it was for fans of Squid Game, and I am obviously there for it. It says for fans of Black Mirror, Ready Player One, and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and I'm on board. And finally, we have one that Lisa was ready to bitch slap me over, and that is Princess of Souls by Alexandra Christo. This is from the author of To Kill a Kingdom, which I did really like. That was a mermaid story. This one says, a cursed witch, a reckless soldier, an immortal king. Could you outrun fate? Probably not. But yeah, this is a Hotkey Books one, and I own this now. Okay, we're getting there. Before we move on to the lovely gifts from you people, I do have one more book that arrived from a publisher, and that is Wolf Song by TJ Cloon, which I got through Black Crow PR and Tor Books. I am genuinely so intrigued. I only just read the blurb of this in a vlog, so I'm not going to read it all again, but this is about Ox, who lives next door to the Bennett family, who are a family of shapeshifters who can transform into wolves at will. It says a heartwarming coming-of-age tale packed with werewolves, magic, and an electric queer romance. I'm just excited. It is chunky though. It's a chunker. And now we have the gifts from you lovely people, and I cannot thank you guys enough. This month was a big one for gifts because so many of you thought you had to buy me a gift for passing my exams, and I am so grateful for you. Like, it genuinely warms my heart so much that you guys care. I don't know, I could nearly cry at all times. We've got to start off with Crazy Mal. Let's do it, because we have 3 books here to talk about. The first one being Fred and Rose by Howard Sounds, which is the book she got me. Some of you guys may remember back in a vlog way back when, Mal and Roxy actually managed to get me the same book off my wish list. So we returned one of them, and then Mal sent another. She obviously did not have to, but this is a true crime book on the Fred and Rose West case and the Gloucester House of Horrors. I am very interested in this book. It turns out Fred's daughter lives very close to me, and one of my colleagues used to work with her. There are just many links from Worcester to Gloucester. It is really not that far, and yeah, it's just interesting to know how much this has impacted people locally, and I want to learn some more. She then got me this book just to access my wish list for the next book I'm going to show you after, but this one is Inner Holidays by Christina Lauren. I have just read my first Christina Lauren. I read Beautiful Bastard, but this one is you can obviously see, this is a Christmas romance. I'm not going to look more into it. I'm going to leave it till December because that is when I will definitely be reading it. So yeah, we have Inner Holidays. Thank you, Mal. And this is why she had to get to my wish list. This is absolutely adorable, and genuinely I could cry. This is Youngblood by Sasha Lawrence, which I have never actually heard of, but Mal decided it would be something I'd be interested in and pre-ordered it for me because she wanted me to have it, which isn't that cute. It says high school sucks, especially for the undead. And as far as I'm aware, this is about Kat, who is a vampire who must drink Hema, an expensive synthetic blood substitute, to survive, as nearly all of humanity has been infected by a virus that's fatal to vampires. She learns she's been accepted to the Heartcote School, a prestigious prep school that's secretly vampires only. She knows her future is about to change. I think it sounds great, and I am so appreciative to Mal for thinking Chloe will like this, I have to pre-order it for her. She's a babe. She's a darling. We love Mal. Next up, we have a gift from the lovely Laura, which is Sex Life, 44 Chapters About 4 Men by BB Easton. This one was on my wish list because I watched the Netflix show. There is a non-removable sticker. I watched the Netflix show and I really enjoyed it. I would fully recommend it to over 18s in my audience, of course. But this is about, what was her name? Oh, it's actually about BB, of course it is, duh. That was really dumb. But BB settles down after a bit of a wild youth with who she's calling perfectly vanilla husbot Ken, who is a straight-laced, drop-dead gorgeous accountant. Literally after a ... it says accountant. I really want to read this. I think it sounds so good, and Colleen Hoover says I can't stop laughing, so you know, that's good praise. Okay, so sorry about that. My camera actually cut me off because we've been talking too long, but you know, I have to give these books what they're due. Next up, we have Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin, which was a gift from the lovely Marlene. Marlene, you are amazing. Thank you so much. Annoyingly, non-removable Netflix sticker too. But this one, I genuinely know nothing about it, and I want to stay that way. I saw Kayla from Books and Lala read it. I think this is the one that she read in a weird cabin. She was reading weird books in a weird cabin, and I want to stay completely blind. It is tiny. It got the Man Booker, it was shortlisted for the Man Booker International Prize in 2017. So, you know, I really know nothing. It says she's not his mother, he's not her child. I want to be freaked out. I feel like I'm going to be freaked out. Next up, we have a gift from the lovely Jo, who got me The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy Coates. This is from what I believe, this is like a cozy horror, like add a cozy mystery to a horror, and this is what this is. It says there's something wrong with Ashburn House. Everyone knows about Ashburn House. They whisper that its old owner went mad and restless ghosts still walk the halls. But when Adrienne, desperate and in need of a place to stay, inherits the crumbling old mansion, she only sees it as a lifeline until darkness falls. I think this sounds great. I did read like 2% of it on my phone. I started it and put it down just because I don't like reading on my phone. And not long after that, this copy turns up from Jo, so I'm incredibly grateful, and thank you so much. You did not have to do this. I appreciate you so much. We're nearly there. The next one is a gift from the lovely Katie, and that is Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. I have heard amazing things about this book. It is a lot of people's favorite Colleen Hoover, which is giving me really high hopes. This is about Sydney, who finds out her boyfriend is cheating on her, bursting her idyllic bubble of being a dedicated student with a steady job, living with her best friend, blah blah. So then the boyfriend is cheating. Then a mysterious and attractive man, Ridge, gives Sydney hope that they can move on and begin to write songs together. Moving on is harder than she expects. Sydney can only hope. Maybe someday. Yeah, I'm very excited by this. It does sound very cute, and it's Colleen Hoover. What more can we say? And we're going to finish on a high of some alien porn, and that is Barbarian Lover by Ruby Dixon. This is book number 3 in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I have never read this one, so I'm incredibly excited, but I'm basically collecting these gorgeous editions when they come out because, oh my god, isn't it gorgeous? So I'm very happy to have this as part of my collection. I won't tell you what this one is about. Obviously, it's book number 3, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I have read the first 2. But the Ice Planet Barbarian series is just something else. I don't feel like it can be described. If you're bored with traditional romance and you want some aliens in there, give it a go. But thank you so much, Faith. You are a lovely human. And there we have it. Those are all of the books that I have acquired in July. It's pretty intense. It's fine. If I didn't say at the start of this video, I'm currently doing a bookshelf organisation, so I need to put all of these books on my shelves. Please do wish me some luck. I've been talking for far too long, so we're going to wrap this up here, but thank you guys so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!